Mastering transitive separable phrasal verbs. Hello everyone. Today we're going to tackle a really interesting topic in English language learning. Transitive separable phrasal verbs. They might sound a bit complex, but don't worry, we'll break them down into understandable pieces and have you using them like a pro in no time. Before we start creating sentences, it's important to understand what transitive separable phrasal verbs are. Simply put, these are phrasal verbs that 1. Have an object and 2. Can be separated by this object. Let's take the phrasal verb, turn on, which means to start a piece of machinery or equipment. It's transitive because it needs an object, something to be turned on. And it's separable because you can say both, turn on the light, and turn the light on. Both are correct. Now that we know what they are, how do we recognize these verbs in the wild? Well, look for verbs combined with particles, like in, on, up, off, etc., that also have a clear object that can either come after the whole phrasal verb or between the verb and the particle. For example, the phrasal verb, take off, in the sentence, he takes off his hat, is a transitive separable phrasal verb. We can also say, he takes his hat off. Time to practice. Remember, the key here is flexibility. You should feel comfortable using the phrasal verb in both formats. Let's try it with some common phrasal verbs. Pick up. Can you pick up the books? Can you pick the books up? Put down. She put down her bag. She put her bag down. Turn off. Please turn off the computer. Please turn the computer off. Practicing with your own examples will make this come naturally in your day-to-day English. One thing to remember is that not all transitive phrasal verbs are separable. For instance, you can look after the kids, but you can't look the kids after. This can be tricky, but don't be discouraged. Practice and context are your friends. Also, while it's grammatically correct to use the separated version of the verb, in some cases it can sound a bit formal or old-fashioned. So keep an ear out for how these phrasal verbs are used in your favorite English movies, shows, or songs. That's it for today's lesson on transitive separable phrasal verbs. I hope you found this video helpful and are feeling a bit more confident in using these in your own English. Remember, practice makes perfect, so don't be afraid to try these out in your everyday conversations. Happy learning and see you in the next video.